Assalamualaikum. Okay, my name is Muhammad Amirul bin Muhammad Nur Anwar. I am PhD student from UIA in campus Kota Baru. Okay, I will present about my chapter, which is a general view of fiqh. Next. Okay, for introduction, the Arabic word Islam simply means submission and derived from the word meaning peace. In a religious context, it means complete submission to the will of Allah. Islam is not a mere religion but a deed, meaning the way of life. Okay, for definition of fiqh, fiqh is Islamic jurisprudence. Fiqh is often described as the human understanding of the Sharia, that is, human understanding of the divine Islamic law as revealed in the Quran and the Sunnah. Okay, fiqh expand and develop Sharia through interpretation, ijtihad of the Quran and Sunnah by Islamic jurists, which is ulama, and is implemented by the ruling fatwa. Okay, in the modern era, there are four prominent school mazhab of fiqh within Sunni practice, plus 2 or 3 within Shia practice. A person trained in fiqh is known as a faqih. Okay, the scope of fiqh is first is aqidah, defined as the firm belief without any wavering or doubt in Allah, His Prophet, angels, and the hereafter, holy books, and predestination. It is main foundation in Islam and a starting point in order to be a good Muslim. Okay, the second is Sharia. It's the set of rules derived from both the Quran and authentic traditions, Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, and the scholarly opinion, ijtihad based on Quran and Sunnah. Okay, the Sharia contains categories and subjects of Islamic law called the branch of fiqh, which is Islamic jurisprudence. Okay, the third is akhlaq, practice of virtue, morality, and manners in Islamic theology and philosophy. It consists of relationship between man and Allah, man and man and other creature. Okay, the first fiqh, which is fiqh ibadat. The meaning is the purification ruling that govern the relationship between man and Allah, such as prayer, fasting, zakat, jihad, and some other form of worship are there under this heading. Okay, ibadat or ibadah, from the point of meaning, which is humble, submissive, obedient, humiliating, and self-indulging in something. Worship, from the point of meaning, Sharia, is obedience, submission, obedience, and humility to God. Obviously, worship is a complete devotion to God. Next. Okay, Imam At-Tabari defined worship as submission to God by performing obedience and humbling himself with reverence. Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, as quoted by Al-Hafiz Ibn Ahmad Al-Hakimi, said that worship is a term that encompasses all that Allah loves and pleases in word and deeds, both outward and inward. Okay, the Quran explains that worship is ubudiyah and obedience. And the meaning is, and remember, I did not create a genie and a human being except that they worship and worship me. Surah Al-Dajariyat ayat 56. Okay, the three terms of ibadat qalbiyah, which is worship related to the heart, such as khawf, fear, raja, hub, mahabbah, love, tawakal, dependency, ragbah, happy, and rabah, anxious. Okay, ibadat lisaniyah qalbiyah related to the oral and the heart, such as tahlil, tahmid, takbir, and gratitude. Okay, that is ibadat badaniyah qalbiyah, which is related to the physical and heart members such as prayer, charity, fasting, pilgrimage, and jihad. Okay, the type of ibadat which is ibadat khusus, that is primarily determined by its manner and condition. The law is obligatory that every person is obligated to believe and practice it. Without special worship, one does not believe. These special prayers such as salat, zakat, puasa, haji, dan umrah, kurban, dan akikah, taharah, dan zikir, doa. Okay, ibadat umum, which is includes all of our daily life activities. We carry out daily activities. If only we could arrange as Allah wish, then it would be worshipped, would be rewarded. On the contrary, if we neglect to regulate our life not according to the law, then we are guilty. The general prayer are as follow, which is education, economy, politics, jihad, muamalat, munakahat, and jinayah. Okay, feathers of ibadah. The first is man relationship with God is straightforward. It does not require meditation, as Christian teaching. God alone is the law, the place of complaint, and the asking for forgiveness. Second is worship is not confined to a certain places. Third is the place of worship in Islam is very spacious, covering every activity of human life. Everything you do is worship if you have enough condition. Okay, fiqh muamalat, which is the ruling governing commercial transaction between the parties involved. Okay, muamalat in the general sense mean all law governing human relation on earth, and in particular refer to the matter relating the property. Thus, the term of fiqh muamalat specifically refer to the knowledge of the law of Sharia that govern human affairs in relation to property. The literal meaning of the muamalat is the transaction, while its technically idea is any form of mutual dealing held between men to solve their everyday needs, especially in the matter relating to the trade and commerce. Muamalat is a social relationship which consists of various economic and non-economic activities. Okay, the basic principle of muamalat, which is possibility as a general rule, which is the status of all matters other than ritual is permissible until evidence is given that a certain matter is prohibited. Conclusion of contract by mutual consent means the contract entered into by the parties shall be free from any element of coercion, fraud, and misrepresentation or others illegal means. Next is the conformity of contract with the maqasid al-Sharia. The transaction or contract entered by individual shall be in accordance with the maqasid Sharia. Next. Okay, the principle of wide circulation of wealth and property should be circulated among the general public and active transfer from one hand to another in the form of expenditure and investment. The principle of transparency and commercial dealing. All financial transactions must be conducted in such a manner that all parties are clear about all the important facts, the term and condition of your dealing. Okay, justice and fair dealing. Justice is a general principle of Sharia that need to be observed in all Islamic transaction and contract. Okay, general prohibition in muamalat. All economic activities are legally permissible as long as this activity do not transgress any of the tenets of the Sharia. In line with this maxim, it is an unanimous opinion of all four major Islamic Sharia schools of Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, and Hanbali that all forms of business transaction that transgress of any tenets of Sharia are considered invalid. Okay, general principle of muamalat. Okay, number one is no contract should be made for selling or buying forbidden product such as alcohol or any other forbidden substances. The Prophet Muhammad SAW says, the meaning, surely Allah and His Messenger have prohibited the sale of wine, the flesh of dead animals, swine, and idol. Reported in Bukhari and Muslim. Okay, number two is likewise no contract shall be made for any financial deals on basis of usury, which is riba. The meaning is Allah has permitted trade and forbidden usury. Al-Baqarah ayat 275. Okay, the third is contract involved in gambling, maisir, is forbidden in Islam. Meaning they will ask you concerning wine and gambling, say in them in great sins and some benefit for men, but the sin is greater than the benefit. Surah Al-Baqarah ayat 219. Okay, concept of contract in muamalat. The literal meaning of akad is joint or tie. It can be translated as a contract. Okay, Babati define akad and his kitab Inayah al-Qadri as legal relationship created by the conjunction of two declarations from which flow legal consequence with regard to the subject matter. Okay, fiqh munakahat, which is the ruling related to the family law. These are deal with marriage, divorce, inheritance, guardianship, and others related matters. Okay, matrimony or marriage, according to the language, is to assemble and mingle. According to Islamic point of view, it means ijab and qabul, an agreement that allows sexual intercourse between man and woman that uttered by words that show marriage, with the rule and regulation that determined by Islam. Okay, the history of marriage. The first marriage happened between Prophet Adam alaihissalam and Hawa. The marriage took place with Allah permission, and this is a matrimonial system which is prescribed for the reproduction of human, for them to rule the earth and live for the time being. Okay, the law of marriage compulsory, which is for someone who has great lust that might be dragged into adultery. Second is sunnah, someone who is able but can control his or her lust. Third is must, which is someone who does not have suffered an objection in marriage, and this was the first law of marriage. And the fourth is objectionable, for someone who unable to give a living from the aspect of eternal and inner feeling, but does not give any harm to his wife, either is rich or does not have a strong desire. And the next is forbidden to someone who is unable to give a living from the aspect of external. Okay, lesson of marriage. The first is one of the right way to have sex so that adultery, prostitution, and sodomy will be avoided. Second is to have a peaceful life, to gain love and harmony, to preserve one beauty, to fulfill the Sharia, to preserve the generation, and to strengthen the bond between Muslims. Okay, the process of marriage, which is the proposal of marriage. Engagement is a contract from both men and women to have wedding on a specific date is agreed by both sides. The next is proposing is a common Malay culture accepted in Islam. Proposal is a start for marriage. Law of proposal is must, and one is not someone's wife, is not mahram, is not in state of iddah, and is not engaged. A gift in form of ring to the woman during the proposal indicated an engagement. Dowry. Dowry is a property or money brought by a bride to her husband to be. It is a compulsory based on Surah An-Nisa ayat 4. The amount of dowry that must be paid is determined by the guardian, which is a person who can give away bride in a Muslim marriage. If the bride is still a child, but can be determined when reached puberty or is widow. Dowry is payable in variety ways. Wedding ceremony is a sunnah if it is held, and accepting the invitation is a must. This is to spread wedding to others to avoid any suspicions of something happened. And there are a few manners in a wedding ceremony after the solemnization such as giving out invitation to important people to the bride, and the wedding ceremony must not have elements of others' religion. Okay, fiqh jinayat. It is also as criminal law of Islam. These are dealt with major offences like illicit sex, zina, theft, sarikah, murder, and everything common. Okay, the definition for fiqh jinayat is a criminal law according to the Islamic law. Done according to fuqaha is an act of evil committed by a person to intentionally infringe or defame another person's soul or body. Okay, the component in fiqh jinayat is hudud. Okay, hudud meaning that literally limit or limit is an Islamic concept based on the Quran and Hadith, which define crime against God. These include crime of adultery, menstruation, homosexuality, ghazaf, intercourse but failing, deliver for Muslim witness, apostasy, taking of chamber, liquor, prostitution, prison, murder, and theft. In Islamic law, Sharia, criminal law invoke a set of punishment imposed by God and cannot be challenged or amended. In accordance with Muslim belief, including whipping or death to death in public and of or death penalty in public. However, the punishment of stabbing and killing in public is quite rare today in most Muslim countries. It is not available in countries according to the Sharia interpretations such as Saudi Arabia and Iran. Okay, Sharia law recognize other crimes that do not belong to hudud. Among them are qisas that are considered to be the personal dispute between the two parties that allow retaliation to be punished, and a verdict in which the sentence is at the discretion of a Sharia judge. Okay, qisas. The punishment of qisas is the same as hudud punishment, which is the sentence of Allah as specified in the Quran and Hadith. The penalty of qisas is an offense punishable by retaliation. Okay, example of qisas. The first one is murder is avenged by death. Life is avenged. Second is get hurt in return by hurting. Number 3 is disgusting retaliation by hurting. Offenses that are punishable by qisas. The first one is killing someone on purpose. Second is eliminating or injuring one member of another body on purpose. 3 is hurting others on purpose. The penalty of qisas is murder on purpose. The sentence of killing another will fully impose a penalty on the killer by retaliation. The word of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, which means, oh, you believe it is your duty to carry out the penalty of qisas, whereas in the case of the dead. Surah Al-Baqarah ayat 178. The penalty of qisas is murder on purpose. The penalty of qisas is intentionally injured. Penalty for removing or injuring one member of another or somebody or injuring must be punished with a sentence of qisas according to the rate of injury or injury of the person, according to the type of member injured and injured. The word of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, which means, and we have said over then in the book of law that the soul should answer with the soul, and the eye responds with the eye, and the nose answer with the nose, and the ear answer with the ear, and the tooth to be answered with the teeth, and the wound also be given retaliate. But whoever remove the right to retaliate, that it becomes a ransom for him, and whoever does not condemn what Allah Almighty has sent down, they are the wrongdoers. Surah Al-Ma'idah ayat 5. Ta'zir is a crime that is punishable by a crime in which criminals are not sentenced to hudud or qisas. Punishment of destiny is an indefinite sentence of form of punishment in the Quran and Hadith. Punishment are punishable by criminal who have been convicted in court and whose sentence is not punishable by hudud or qisas, because those offenses are not included in qisas where they are subject to hudud or qisas. Okay, the type and rate and form of punitive damages are up to the discretion of the judge to determine and decide the appropriate punishment for the criminal, as the sentence is intended to prevent the criminal from repeating the crime they commit and not to torture them. The significance of fiqh: man is bound by responsibilities and duties toward his creator and toward his fellow human being. Knowledge of fiqh, number 1, is makes one aware of such obligation. Second is guide in discharging the duties and responsibilities. 3, helps in evaluating the validity of his action. Okay, next is in Holy Quran. The word fiqh is used to signify deep understanding of matters, especially those matters which are related to religion. It is mostly used to mean the understanding of the word of someone else and the religious matter, the word of Allah and His Messenger. For fiqh, there is again a different terminology similar to that mentioned about the Sharia. The early scholar of Islam would use fiqh to mean the knowledge of the understanding of the guidance, the ruling, and the way of life Allah prescribed for us. In other words, fiqh is our understanding and knowledge of Allah's Sharia. Scholars have confined the usage of the word fiqh to the knowledge and understanding of the guidance, the ruling, and the way of life regarding the actions, only excluding the area of belief and moral character. This terminology is represented by the famous definition that fiqh is the knowledge of the Sharia ruling. Okay, the contribution of Sharia conceptually refer to set of rules, regulation, technique, and values govern the life of Muslims. However, these rules and regulations, contrary to how they are often described by many non-Muslims, cover every aspect of life. Sharia embraces worship, morals, and conduct, as well as it embraces the political, social, and economic, as well as the other sphere. Okay, the sources of Sharia. This is two sources for Sharia, which is first is Al-Quran. The Quran is a word of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala revealed to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in Arabic, conveyed by Angel Jibril Alaihi Salam. Angel Jibril as the Quran, the main primary sources of Sharia. It is a mu'jizat, meaning which may not to be understood by someone and is immutable and preserved by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. The second sources of Sharia is Sunnah. According to Muhaddithun or scholar of science of Hadith, Sunnah refer anything which came from the Prophet Muhammad SAW, including his act, saying, tacit approval, as well as physical attribute. Okay, for Sunnah, it can be divided in three, which is the first one is Sunnah Qawliya, which is Sunnah by words. Example, when the Prophet Muhammad SAW explicitly said, "Pray as you see me pray." The second is Sunnah Fiqhiyah, which is Sunnah by action. This type of Sunnah consists of the Prophet's deeds and actual instruction, such as the way he performed the prayer, the fasting, the ritual of Haji, or the transaction he concluded, such as sale and other financial transaction. The third is Sunnah Takririyah, which is Sunnah by agreement. The tacitly approved Sunnah consists of the act and saying of the companion in the Prophet's presence, or which came to his knowledge and on which he remained silent. The tacit approval of the Prophet Muhammad SAW may be inferred from his silence, indicating the permissibility of the acts, as the Prophet Muhammad SAW will never keep silent on prohibited things. Okay, next is sources of fiqh. The first source is the Holy Quran, the main and the first source of Islamic law, which other sources are taken from it. Is the Holy Quran. The Quran will always be existing in its original form, with the precaution taken by the Prophet. However, to draw inferences from the Quranic verses require a special study of them, and everyone cannot have access to all the content of the Quran to interpret the verses and to reconcile them, keeping in mind all the explanation given in the Sunnah in a matter specialization. But it should not be forgotten that the Quran is a book of clear guidance, and all those who know its language and can be benefited by it directly. Others can have access to it through its translation. All can be guided by its light. Okay, the next source of fiqh, which is Sunnah, including tradition reported by the Holy Prophet and infallible Imams in condition their action and confirming in reality. The Sunnah is an interpreter of the Holy Quran. As the Quran itself expressed, we have sent down the reminder Quran to you so that you may clarify for the people that which has been sent down to them, so that they may reflect. Surah Al-Nahl ayat 44. Okay, sources of fiqh. Third is a consensus, ijma. Consensus of opinion, which is ijma, is considered another source of law beside the Quran and Sunnah, in the sense that if the jurists agree with an opinion, we should act upon it even we do not find anything in the Quran and the Sunnah support it. The Shi'ah jurists maintain that if some authority is found on rule of law in the Quran and the Sunnah, the question that consensus of opinion does not arise. A text should always be given preference over a consensus. But if no authority is found and it still jurists express an opinion, we regard that some authority in support of their opinion through law. Even in such case, it actually based on some authority in the Sunnah not known to us. Okay, the last source of fiqh, which is reason, akal. Reason play a basic role in ijtihad, the reduction of the rule of religious law from the sources. Its role in ascertaining the rules of Islamic law has such importance that it said that reason and Islamic law are inseparable. Okay, for conclusion, in this study, I have learned about the importance of the law, which is the fiqh and sharia, and know about the detail about the fiqh, which is fiqh ibadah, fiqh muamalat, fiqh munakahat, and fiqh jinayah. And I also know about sources of sharia and sources of fiqh. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.